unified awareness and source recognition. That shift creates a signal. And when the archons detect it, they activate the defense protocol. It usually comes within 24 to 48 hours. You'll speak the 3 codes, feel the shifts happening, sense the access opening. And then, a day or two later, you'll experience what feels like overwhelming doubt. A compulsion to dismiss everything. Thoughts that say, that was just imagination. This is ridiculous. I need to stop this spiritual nonsense and focus on real life. And if you don't recognize what's happening, you'll believe those thoughts are yours. You'll stop using the codes. The access will close. And the archons will have successfully prevented another consciousness from breaking free. But if you know the protocol is coming, if you expect it, if you recognize those thoughts as external programming and not your authentic awareness, you can do what the 3 disciples did. You speak the codes again. All 3. In sequence. With full conviction. And the protocol collapses immediately. Because you're not fighting it. You're just re-establishing the frequency it can't operate in. The protocol tries to run, recognizes you're established in monad consciousness, and shuts down. And after that test, the archons stop trying. You've proven you know what you are. And consciousness that knows what it is can't be controlled. Tonight, before you sleep, you're speaking all 3 codes in sequence. Not as ritual. As recognition. Find a quiet space. Sit for a moment. And then speak aloud with full awareness. I am the eternal present. Feel the time trap collapse. Notice how your mind stops pulling into past or future. I revoke all separation. Feel the isolation dissolve. Notice connection to everything that was always there. I return to source. Feel the recognition establish. Notice you're not traveling anywhere. You're remembering where you've always been. The codes work immediately. You'll feel the shifts in real time. But they work progressively. The first time you speak them, you'll get a taste. The 10th time, the shifts deepen. The 100th time, you're established in monad frequency as your default state. So use them daily. Morning when you wake, before bed at night, any moment you notice yourself getting pulled into time trap or separation thinking. The codes aren't one-time access. They're frequency maintenance. And the more you use them, the more permanently you establish in the awareness they open. Within 2 days of using these codes, you're going to face the same test Judas failed. The defense protocol will activate. And it won't feel like external programming. It'll feel like your own rational mind finally talking sense. This is crazy. You're delusional. Stop this before you lose touch with reality completely. And in that moment, you'll have a choice. Believe those thoughts and stop using the codes, like Judas believed the protocol and betrayed the teaching. Or recognize the protocol for what it is and speak the codes again. Every disciple who learned these codes faced this test. Every single one felt the protocol activate. But unlike Judas, they knew what it was. They recognized external programming trying to shut down their access. And instead of stopping, they spoke the codes again. Time trap collapse. Separation revoked. Source recognized. And the protocol failed. Within minutes of re-establishing the frequency, the doubts disappeared. The compulsion to quit vanished. And they never faced that level of resistance again. Because the archons recognized they couldn't be stopped. You'll face this too. Expect it. When the thoughts come that say this is all nonsense, that's not you. That's the protocol. Speak the codes again. And watch how quickly the resistance collapses when you don't give it power by believing it's your own doubt. 3 hours before his arrest, Jesus taught 3 verbal codes that open direct monad access. Codes that bypass every archonic control system, every separation program, every time trap keeping humans harvestable. Judas heard those codes and ran. The defense protocol activated in him, used him to stop the teaching from spreading, turned him into the instrument of Jesus' execution. But Peter, James, and John heard the same codes, felt the same protocol try to activate. And they didn't run. They recognized what was happening. They spoke the codes again. And they remained free. You're not Judas. You're the 3 who stayed. You're hearing these codes because you're ready to use them. You're discovering this teaching because the Archon's defense protocol doesn't work on you the way it works on others. You sense when something's true even when every external voice tells you it's crazy. And that sensing is monad consciousness recognizing itself in the frequency these codes broadcast. The codes again. I am the eternal present. Time trap collapses. I revoke all separation. Isolation ends. I return to source. You remember where you've always been. 3 codes. Spoken in sequence. With full awareness. And access opens permanently. Do 3 things now. First, comment, I know the codes below. Not just for engagement. As declaration. You're stating publicly that you received the teaching Judas tried to destroy. Other chosen ones need to see they're not alone in knowing this. Second, subscribe because the defense protocol maintenance method is coming next. Once you break through using these codes, the archons attempt different vectors. There's a secondary teaching that keeps you established in monad frequency long-term. Third, like this video so others discover what Jesus taught before the archons activated Judas. Your engagement determines whether this reaches more chosen ones or gets buried. Do all 3 now. Then tonight speak the codes. And tomorrow when the defense protocol tries to activate, you'll know exactly what it is. You'll speak the codes again. The protocol will collapse. And you'll remain in the access Judas couldn't handle but you were built for. You're not running. You're remembering. The codes are yours. Use them.